Hi everyone, this is Jen from BritMums, and we are here on another great BritMums Hangout. Today, we've got a special one with the Urban Rajah. This is Ivor Peters, and he's coming to talk with us about delicious curry recipes. Ivor, welcome.
Thanks very much, Jen. Yeah, I'm really chuffed that I could join you this morning.
And yes, so some of you may know we had Ivor along to BritMums Live last year. He's written a cookbook called the Urban Rajah's Curry Memoirs. He does pop-up experiences where you can go and eat. We also have with us today three great bloggers. We've got Mari from Mari's World. We've got Mary from Key & Co. And we've got my BritMums co-founder, Susanna, who also blogs at A Modern Mother.
Hello.
So they will all be asking questions and chatting with us. But first, Ivor, tell us, so your book is called The Urban Rajah's Curry Memoirs. Tell us a little bit about curry and kind of what it means and what it means to you. Oh, have we lost Ivor? We may have lost Ivor. All right, well, we're going to wait a second and see if he can jump back on with us. I think we all know that, the UK is a curry-loving nation. Usually it's chicken tikka masala for a lot of us, but what do y'all like that's not chicken tikka masala?
My complete favourite is actually anything with Indian cheese in it, that paneer cheese. Is lovely. I do really like that, and curried cheese kind of sounds odd, but it works. That's really nice.
I haven't tried that actually, Mary. I think I usually go for a beef rendang or maybe a tikka masala or a boona. I do like a boona.
Have you ever had halloumi cheese?
No, I haven't.
It's like that. It's slightly salty like feta, but not as salty as feta. But it's got that sort of slightly squeaky consistency like halloumi cheese does, so it doesn't melt in the same way that cheddar or mozzarella does. It stays whole when you cook it.
Interesting.
With spinach and chickpeas.
Yes, and Mary, you make a great point. I think one thing I really like about Indian food and curries, as we call them here in the UK, is that it's so easy to have purely vegetarian dishes.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
You don't need meat to kind of make a nice, hearty, warming meal.
No, not at all. Not at all. And you can it can be as much variety as you want. You can do anything you like and not add the meat to it, but there are then specifically vegetarian dishes, onion bhajis, samosas, those sorts of things work really well without a meat product. So I like the way of eating that you have lots and lots of different dishes, and everybody has a little bit of something, so you get a really wide range of tastes. It's not like sitting down to a plate of pasta with a sauce on it. You have the opportunity to sort of dip and share and sort of that communal eating I really like.
Now, Susanna, you're kind of a dark horse in this discussion because you've actually written a curry cookbook.
I did. It was a long time ago. In university when I had a lot of Indian friends, and their mothers, that was when I lived in Silicon Valley, and kind of a hot spot for Asian families, and I knew a lot of families, and I thought I'd document it. So yes, I bet you didn't know that about me.
I did not. I think if I had one tip about curry, coming from America, where we of course have curry, but you don't really have the wide variety, and you don't have the wide amount of pickles and the kind of condiments. And I think if you keep a few jars of that in the fridge, then you can make a curry really easily at home, one kind of curry for the whole family. But then it's those extra bits you put around it. So I love lime pickle. I love the regular lime pickle. I love the kind of specialty high-end pickle. Anjum Anand does the Spice Tailor one that is amazing. And then some of the other kind of things you can put on the side, that kind of yogurty sauce. What do y'all think? Do y'all love those? I love those, and I think they really kind of lift it. And you get a curry, and then you get a naan or paratha or something like that, and suddenly it's all kinds of different tastes and deliciousness.
Yes. And actually, I have a little secret as well. My children think they don't like Indian food, and so I call it Mexican food. A lot of the spices are very similar, and so when they ask when they come walk in the door and they're starving, what's for dinner, I say, oh, we're having Mexican food tonight. But a lot of the spices are the same. I mean, give or take ginger. Ginger isn't one that you would find in Mexican food. But yes, it's.
Susanna, can I ask you, because I have a couple of, I was going to put my question to Raj, but he's not here yet, but things like fenugreek and asafoetida, for example, have you used them before?
Yeah, I'm sure Raj is the one to ask.
I know, I'm waiting for him to get back on, but while we're waiting.
Asafoetida, that's a really hard one to spell.
Yeah.
I think oh, sorry, Susanna.
And it
I
smells
think one of the
terrible. You
things
smelled it? It smells really weird.
I think one of the things, it's important to have a little kind of grinder or one of those tiny mortar and pestles, because you get so many of those spices. Especially like the cardamom seeds or the fennel seeds or all that. You give it a little squash around in your mortar and pestle, and suddenly there's the aroma that comes out. It's just amazing and adds so much. And you don't even need that much to add to the dish to make it amazing. So yeah, we're still trying to get Ivor back, but so I'll keep y'all updated about that.
Can I put a question to Mary?
Yep.
Mary, you use obviously vegetables a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give me a really quick, easy idea of how to spice up some vegetables? So you're not just doing boiled veg on the table of an evening, but with something a little bit more interesting.
Gosh, it depends what vegetables you have, I think.
Broccoli.
Broccoli.
Yeah.
Okay. Ginger, I would say.
That
Ginger
sounds good.
works really nicely with broccoli. So if you very finely grate or slice some ginger root and a little tiny bit of chili, not too much because it's kind of powerful, but a tiny bit of chili and some extra coriander, and toss once you've cooked the broccoli, but so it's still quite al dente, and then toss it in the saucepan with a little bit of olive oil and the chopped coriander, chili, and a little bit of ginger, and then eat it. That's very nice.
That sounds delicious.
It does sound good. You just gave me an idea for dinner. I've got some broccoli in the fridge.
So it looks like Ivor might be back with us.
Yes.
Ivor, can you hear us? Ivor, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Yeah. I don't know whether I'm in video. Sorry, but we've had BT issues.
All right. Well, let's try and get a couple questions in quickly while we're connected. Mari.
Yeah. Hi, Ivor. I was given this pot with a lid for Christmas last year. It came with some paste in it, but there were no recipes and no instructions if this can go in the oven or not. Can you give me an idea of what I can do with it, please?
Well, it looks to me, I've never used one of those, but it looks to me a little bit like a tagine. And I would imagine that it's probably oven-proof.
Okay.
And I would imagine thinking about sort of like a Thai or a Malaysian style curry.
Okay.
You want to put most ingredients in together, and they'll stew together a little bit like a tagine. But best, I've never used one of those, so you're going to have to let me know how you get on.
Okay.
Mary, you had a question regarding kind of restricted diet with curries.
Yeah, my husband is an absolute curry fiend. I think he'd probably live on it all the time if I let him. But he has a gluten-free diet, and so find a gluten-free alternative for a starch is really hard. Gluten-free naan breads taste vile. I've never successfully made chapatis gluten-free or otherwise. So I'm just wondering if you've got a good suggestion as to how I can make a decent gluten-free bread product to go with a curry. Oh, I've bored him, he's gone.
I knew you shouldn't have asked that question.
Exactly. You sent him off. Sent him off. That's what he thinks of your question.
Free cookbook.
All right. Well, we're gonna give it one more try to get a hold of him. So we'll put that to the one side. And Susanna, why don't we talk about your question or your issue and.
Yeah, you guys might have some suggestions on that. Mine was, well, as you know, my children think they don't like Indian food, but so I call it Mexican food. But they do like korma and chicken tikka masala. But I was wondering if you guys have had any luck with other dishes that are maybe kid friendly and the whole family enjoys as well.
When my daughter was just the same when she was younger. She really didn't like it at all, and we were very lucky that we had a friend who ran an Indian restaurant, and he would make her special extra mild kormas, which were really just vegetables in gravy. But her favourite when she was small was actually Nepalese curry as opposed to Indian curry. We live in a garrison town here, and we've had the Gurkhas stationed here in the town several times, and lots of them have settled here once they've left. We have a Gurkha restaurant in town, and their curries are almost Chinese flavoured, but still curry. It's a real kind of mix on that border between India and China. And they did a really nice one, which was cauliflower and tomatoes and potatoes in a slightly cheesy, slightly curried flavoured sauce. And that was her absolute favourite. She always wanted cauliflower curry.
Oh, that sounds good.
I'm writing that down.
I know.
Amazing.
It's almost lunchtime.
My daughter really, she's the same. She doesn't need it to be Mexican food. She does like curry, but I think she does like anything with coconut milk added, of course. And I think in some ways it's just the idea of the spices. So when we do things like the spinachy ones, which tend not to have flavorings but not spices. I love the kind of dry roasted with turmeric cauliflower because it looks so pretty, but again the turmeric is not adding any heat. And finally, one thing we do is with sog, with dal, because it's almost like a bean dip. Speaking of Mexican food, but being able to get that and kind of spread it on things, or have a bit of rice with a ladle of that over it, and it just kind of gets her used to the idea of Indian food, and it's delicious, it's filling, but you don't have to be scared that it's going to burn your tongue off.
Satay might be an option as well if she likes, she likes PB&J sandwiches for her lunch. You could make a satay that's not too spicy, with a limited amount of spice behind the peanut. But that would be an introduction into. It's a familiar taste, but it's something that you can actually make ultimately taste very, very different.
Yeah.
So I think Ivor's not going to be able to join us. Our previous tests had gone okay, but we've been foiled by the connection. But we are going to be featuring a couple of his recipes on the site after this hangout. A lamb and turnip curry, which sounds amazing and a great way to use the kind of autumn and winter vegetable turnip, and a sweet corn dal to kind of mix up the whole dal taste. So we'll be featuring those, and then we're going to see if we can work out those issues and get Ivor back soon to have a proper curry chat. So, ladies, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
And we'll see you at the next hangout.
Bye.
Bye.